Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
By Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com. And by Hog Island Audubon Camp. For full camp schedule, program details, and to register, visit hogisland.audubon.org.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to our show number 1051, during which we'll highlight some September birding festivals. We'll listen to audio postcards from California and Central Europe, and we'll present a Let's Ask Mike segment about the birds and the bees. Meanwhile, Plastic-Free July is still in our thoughts. We have a bit of good news here about a legal win in the fight against plastic pollution. A little background, PFAS substances are commonly known as forever chemicals because they don't break down naturally for hundreds or thousands of years. They're used in many products due to their water and grease-resistant properties, including food packaging, takeout containers, pizza boxes, nonstick cookware, cosmetics, and a whole lot more. Studies have linked PFAS exposure to various health problems, including increased risk of some cancers, lower fertility, and developmental problems in children. The state of New Jersey wanted to do something about these exposures, so they sued DuPont Chemical and related companies that make these chemicals, and they've won a record-breaking settlement to address PFAS contamination in their state. The settlement is described as the largest of its kind by a single state. It includes an $875 million payout and up to $1.2 billion for cleanup costs. Good for you, New Jersey. Well, the first of our two audio postcards today is from Hungary, where Siva Golparanayanan is immersed in bird life.
Hi, Ray and friends. This is Siva here from the Hotobajas National Park in Hungary. In the background, you hear nightingale, Eurasian penduline tit, a golden oriole. There's a spotted flycatcher here. A couple of herons flying over, a purple heron, a gray heron. And it's such a beautiful day here. It's actually rainy, windy, but yet the birds are so active. The rain just let up. All right, happy birding.
Thank you, Siva. And we'll be hearing more reports from Siva's European birding adventures in Hungary and Slovakia. Our second audio postcard was recorded back in February during a big Southern California birding festival, and it comes from a member of our Talkin' Birds team.
Hey everybody, it's Freya McGregor here. I am very excited because I've just seen a couple of California gnatcatchers, which are really hard to catch up with. I'm at the San Diego Bird Festival right next to the border, like as in the border is, 300 feet away. And someone told us that California gnatcatchers are down here, and so we crept down here and saw some rock wrens and some California towies and some California thrushes, and some bush tits are just coming past, and then a couple of little California gnatcatchers. Very cool. All right, bye.
Thank you, Freya. Very cool indeed. So, Talkin' Birds listeners, next time you're looking at or listening to birds, wherever you happen to be, why not make an audio postcard to preserve the experience and share it with other Talkin' Birds listeners? To do it, just record a description of what you're seeing and or hearing into something like a smartphone, then send the file right here to ray@talkinbirds.com. That's ray@talkinbirds.com. And that is our mystery bird. Why are we playing it now? Because it's a preview of the contest, the Mystery Bird Contest, with a triple prize package today, by the way. Coming along a bit later on in the show, some clues here. Our mystery bird is a medium-sized raptor with a wingspan of about 2.5 feet. It has a long, tapered tail, short, pointed wings, a white face with a black border, yellow eyes and bill, and feathered legs. Our bird is found over most of Canada and Alaska. It's not migratory, but sometimes ranges into the extreme northern parts of the U.S., especially following strong breeding seasons. It's a fast and agile flyer that can hunt by day or night. With hearing so acute, it can take prey completely concealed by snow. That's our mystery bird. The contest coming along in just a little bit later on the show here. We are very grateful to be able to thank more folks in the Talkin' Birds audience becoming Talkin' Birds ambassadors, helping us spread the word about our show. And we want to say thank you to Emily Gilardi from Babylon, New York. She said she recently started listening. She's an assistant camp director for a nature summer camp on Long Island. And she says she'd love to share some of the things we talk about with the kids. Definitely want to talk to them about flirting, too. Well, thank you, Emily. Emily, by the way, has signed up as a proud flirter, picking up litter while birding. To sign up as a Talkin' Birds ambassador and or a proud flirter, just click on the Get Involved tab there at talkinbirds.com and just kind of scroll down. You'll see how to do either or both of those things very easily. The Get Involved tab, talkinbirds.com. Still to come today, we'll talk with Lauren Parmalee from Audubon, Rhode Island about their upcoming Raptor weekend. Also today, Mike O'Connor will join us for a Let's Ask Mike segment, almost live from the archive, about the birds and the bees. And up next, we revisit a colorful, sweet singer as this week's featured feathered friend. 3 reasons to love the yellow warbler.
1.
It's beautiful with its buttery yellow color and understated red streaking on the breast of the male and striking black eyes.
2.
It sings a beautiful whistled song. We'll hear it in a moment.
And 3.
It doesn't drive you crazy hiding behind leaves when you're trying to get a look at it, the way some other warblers do. Instead, the yellow warbler will often come right out into the open so you can drink it in with your eyes. Look for them usually near the tops of tall shrubs and short trees as they hop along the branches and twigs, searching for caterpillars and other tasty insects. Yellow warblers can be found in pretty much every part of the U.S. and Canada in the spring and summer, and spend the winter mostly in Central America and northern South America. Bad news for the yellow warbler? It's often parasitized by the brown-headed cowbird, which lays its eggs in the yellow warbler's nest so that an unsuspecting yellow warbler parent will unintentionally raise another member of that other non-parenting species. The good news is that the yellow warbler will often fight back against this intrusion by building a new nest on top of the old one. There have been reports of yellow warblers building nests with up to 6 tiers. Yellow warblers in a group are collectively known as a stream, or a trepidation, or a sweetness. And here's that sweet song. The yellow warbler, today's Talkin' Birds featured feathered friend. Well, September is a great month. I should say another great month for birding festivals and events. Thought we'd highlight a few in early September, along with the reminder that if you go to our website, talkinbirds.com, and under that Get Involved tab, you'll find a link to many bird festivals coming up. That's at talkinbirds.com, and that link goes to info provided by our friends at the Cornell Lab of Ornithology. But just to quickly highlight a few, there's the Urban Birding Festival in Chicago. We talked with folks from there just recently on the show. That's September 12th through 14th. Then there's the Fall Birding Festival at Bar Lake State Park in Brighton, Colorado, September 13th And there's the Extreme Hummingbird Extravaganza at the Gulf Coast Bird Observatory in Jackson, Texas on September 13th. And we have one more exciting event that we'd like to highlight this morning and get a little more detail on. In fact, it's an event from which we'll be airing our show live on the 7th of September. It's the Raptor Weekend presented by the Audubon Society of Rhode Island, September 5th through the 7th. And to tell us something about it is Audubon Rhode Island's Senior Director of Education Programs, Lauren Parmalee. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning, Ray.
Great to have you to tell us about this exciting event. Well, I've been to the Raptor Weekend a few times, so I know how terrific it is. But could you give us a little overview, including maybe which raptors we might get a look at?
Absolutely. So this is a 2-day event, September 6th and 7th. In Bristol, Rhode Island at our Nature Center and Aquarium. And it's perfect for a wide variety of people, including small children all the way up to passionate birders who love raptors. We have Eyes on Owls coming on Sunday, and we have Masters of the Sky, a falconer, coming both Saturday and Sunday. If you come Saturday, you'll meet some of the birds of prey that Audubon has, including great horned owl, barred owl, red-tailed hawk, and you'll see Masters of the Sky, Harris hawks, and barn owl fly. Mm-hmm. Eyes on Owls on Sunday, of course, has a wide variety of owls, including screech owl, and perhaps their Eurasian eagle owl, which would be nice.
And we'll see a lot of these birds fly.
Yes, well, particularly Gregory Martel from Masters of the Sky will fly his Harris hawks and his barn owl, as well as I think his red-tail.
Mm-hmm. Harris's hawk, I have to say, that's my favorite. If I was designing a hawk, that's how it would come out. It's just such a spectacular looking bird. So that would be really, really cool to see. And by the way, Gregory Martel, the master falconer, will be our live guest at the festival on the Sunday part of the weekend. So on our usual time, 9:30 to 10 Eastern. So looking forward to that as well. Also, in addition to the things we've just mentioned here, there are some other special events, if I'm reading this correctly. Admission also includes some other pretty cool stuff, including access. You can tell us, know what they are.
Lots of games and activities for children. Sorry. Lots of games and activities for children, as well as song and game time in the middle of the day. And we're having a very special guest. We're having Julie Brown come from Hawk Mountain to talk about hawk migration studies. So we're excited to hear all about the work being done by that organization as well. Yes,
that very famous organization and place there in Pennsylvania. And that wonderful view, the Nature Center and Aquarium is perched on that high bluff above Narragansett Bay. Could you give a description of that? Because it's pretty special.
Yes. So when you're out back on the patio, either listening to Ray do his show or watching Gregory fly his birds, you're overlooking a beautiful meadow surrounded by tall deciduous forest. And then as the leaves begin to fall out off the trees in the fall, you can see all the way to Narragansett Bay.
Ooh, that's nice. Well, one more activity that caught my eye, and by the way, Lauren, you mentioned, of course, the weekend is the 6th and 7th, but I said the 5th, 6th, and 7th, and there is something going on the 5th called Birds and Brews, if I'm not mistaken, maybe some cold beers and cool music.
Absolutely. So we partner with Proclamation Ale, which is located in Warwick, Rhode Island. And this is our 3rd year to host Birds and Brews. We'll be having a band. We'll be having a raffle. We'll be having snacks from a food truck and lots of beer. And of course, for the wine lovers, there'll be wine as well. And so that's Friday night from 5:30 to 8:30.
All right. So if you're anywhere, we figure in southern New England or eastern New York, you can get to this event pretty easily. It's at Audubon's Nature Center and Aquarium in beautiful Bristol, Rhode Island. So the Birds and Brews on Friday and then the whole event Saturday and Sunday. And we'll give the website here, Lauren, but how do we tell folks to get tickets? What's the best way?
Yes, tickets. Go right to the website, asri.org, and you can click on the event and get your tickets right there. Or if you decide at the last minute and you decide to driving by and you're like, oh, I forgot, you can come right in and buy a ticket at the door.
Okay, that makes it pretty easy. Again, that website is asri.org, or you could just look up Audubon, Rhode Island. And I know the whole page on the Raptor Weekend is right there on the main page of the website. So the Raptor Weekend, September 6th through the 7th, Birds and Brews on September 5th. And we've been talking with Lauren Parmalee. She's the Audubon, Rhode Island Senior Director of Education Programs. Lauren, thank you so much for giving us that info, and we'll see you on the Raptor Weekend.
Thank you, Ray. See you there.
Lauren Parmalee here on Talking Birds. And up next, it's our Mystery Bird contest in just 1 minute.
The flutter of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com.
Just in case you missed it earlier, that's the sound of our Mystery Bird contest. First, reminder that we often say here, not often enough perhaps, many of our listeners to the show, of course, are hearing our show on a delayed basis and podcasts and such. But if you'd like to hear our show live, and thereby enabling yourself to enter our Mystery Bird contest, it's easy to do. Just go to talkingbirds.com and you'll see how to listen to our show live wherever you are, at least on planet Earth. Our broadcast, by the way, live is on Sunday mornings from 9:30 to 10 Eastern. Well, we have a triple prize package. I'll tell you, a triple prize package on our Mystery Bird contest this morning, starting with that beautiful Brome Squirrel Solution 150 feeder. This is a good time of year for lots of folks to make sure their feeders are in good shape, especially if you have this beautiful new one from Brome. It's genuinely squirrel-proof and it's chew-proof. It's easy to clean, and it features that vented seed tray to keep the seed fresh and dry. That's prize number one in our triple prize package this morning. Prize number two, a birding by ear course from Larkwire, the Larkwire app with game-based courses and identification tips from some of the best birders in the world. It's a uniquely effective approach to learning, and these courses let you master the sound of birds, which is a really cool thing to be able to do and have fun doing it. And prize number three, a one-year subscription to the great birding magazine, BWD. Beautiful photographs, illustrations, and wonderful articles. A little triple prize package there. Our mystery bird is a medium-sized raptor with a wingspan of about 2.5 feet, a long tapered tail, short pointed wings, a white face with a black border, yellow eyes and bill, and feathered legs. Found over most of Canada and Alaska, it's not migratory but does sometimes range into the extreme northern parts of the U.S. after strong breeding seasons. Our bird is a fast and agile flyer that can hunt by day or night. Its hearing is so acute, it can capture prey that's completely concealed by snow. And a reminder, if you don't have the exact right answer, you could still be a winner on our Talking Birds Mystery Bird contest. We'll do a drawing among all callers received if we don't get, the exact answer. Here's the number. It's 781-837-4900. Once again, it's 781-837-4900. 4900 for our mystery bird contest. The birds and the bees, the topic for Mike O'Connor. It's Let's Ask Mike, almost live from the archive in just 1 minute.
Standing at the edge of a rocky shore, you breathe in the cool, salty air, watching the sun disappear on the horizon. Across the globe, someone begins their day along a sandy beach, listening to the rhythm of the crashing waves. You each envision a world beneath the water, vibrant life in every imaginable form. Now, imagine it's all gone. What was once a place of wonder and beauty is now a dull, lifeless wasteland. Food, jobs, medicine, all gifts from the ocean, all gone. Time is running out to protect our oceans, and without our love, everything the oceans provide can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our oceans. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Cape Cod, Massachusetts is the destination, the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Route 6A, where Mike O'Connor is ready to tell us about. All right, cue the bees, please. Bees. Good morning, Mike.
The bees are back. Good morning, Ray. Yeah, it's bee season, apparently. And a few weeks ago, we talked about puddles. We talked about if you wash your car, you wash your dog, you wash your boat, you wash your grill, and then it creates puddles. You got to disperse those puddles because the birds will come along and drink out of them, and they'll get involved with whatever detergent or chemicals you put in the water. And now we got another topic. We had a bee's nest. A lot of times people see bee's nests this time of year, and bees are important, and if you can... at all possible, you see a bee's nest, leave it alone. But in my case, right by the back door was this giant, classic bee's nest, looked like a Japanese lantern, and I could have lived with it. But my wife's highly allergic to bees, and they kind of looked like yellow jackets. We weren't sure. But I was handed down the determination that the bees had to go. So I think in the old days, back years and years and years ago, before I knew any better, like most people, they just go, right, gone to the store, got a can of something to spray on them, and that would be the end of that. Gone in the house, and that would be the end of it. But I knew sprays aren't good anymore. I mean, they're really bad. Like you talked about with the cicadas, people spraying the cicadas are killing birds. So at night, I came up with a better solution, and I'm not recommending this for anybody. You know, they should look into it their own thing. But what I did is I went at night when the bees were quiet, and I got a high-powered garden hose, and I just sprayed the nest with the hose. The nest came apart, all the eggs and the larvae and the pupa fell onto my deck, and it was the end of that, and then the nest was over. However, in the morning, when I got up, the deck was covered with cardinals, orioles, catbirds, all enjoying this bee larvae. They're eating the eggs. It was great. They were flying off with the larvae and feeding them to their babies. And it just made me realize if I had gone the old school route of spraying them, all this poison would have been either ingested by the birds themselves, or the catbirds or the orioles would have been giving them to their nestlings. And I realized how we have to just stop and look for alternatives to spray, because that's kind of the lazy knee-jerk reaction is to spray stuff. And I went with this high-powered water that worked for me. So I would recommend anybody who's got an issue with any kind of insect, look at an alternative. Now, maybe somebody could have, call, someone, a bee guy or a pest control person who could have done it, just removed it without spray. Or if you use spray for some reason, you just collect whatever falls, put down a tarp or something and collect that and remove it. But just don't spray and walk away and let things go, because it's the old downstream thing. Who's ever upstream doesn't care about what's going on downstream. But in this case, downstream are birds, and we just got to be careful about that.
All right, don't spray and walk away. And what was the other thing? Don't do that lazy knee-jerk reaction. That's from the old days.
I got a whole bunch of cliches. If you need some more, I'll send them to you.
All right, maybe next week.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks.
All right, we're back to the Mystery Bird Contest. We'll hear just a little bit of our Mystery Bird one more time here. Okay, that should be enough. It's our Mystery Bird, the medium-sized raptor, wingspan of about 2.5 feet. What is that bird? 781-837-4900 is the number. We have Heidi and Brian from the great city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hello, Heidi and Brian.
Hello, Ray.
Hello, hi.
Hello.
Welcome from Milwaukee, the Cream City. Is that a real nickname for Milwaukee?
It is, because it's actually the Cream City, because a lot of the buildings used to be made out of brick that was that color.
Interesting. Okay, the Cream City. It sounds really nice. I've only been to Milwaukee once. It's that big floral dome, right? Is there one, or are there more than one of those there?
Yeah, there's 3 of them called the Milwaukee Domes.
The Mitchell Park Domes. One is desert, one is tropical, and one is a changing theme based on the seasons.
Right. Yes. It's all coming back to me now. It's really quite spectacular. Well, Heidi and Brian, you heard the clues and all that on the mystery bird, and you say the bird is what?
The northern hawk owl.
Said with confidence. Absolutely right. The northern hawk owl, our mystery bird. We're kind of saying that because we're going to be at the Raptor weekend, not very close to Milwaukee, but in Rhode Island on September 7th. They have that big Raptor weekend there in the 6th and 7th in Bristol, Rhode Island. I think we have time for a bonus question, Heidi and Brian, if you're interested. It's a clean energy question, if you're okay with that. It's not really exactly a bird question, except in a very indirect way. But here it is. Starting next summer, the major downtown areas in the city of blank will ban all gasoline-powered motorcycles as part of a program to cut down on emissions. What city will be doing this? Is it A, Los Angeles, USA, B, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, C, Hanoi, Vietnam, or D, Oslo, Norway? One of those cities.
I think it's Hanoi.
Hanoi, Vietnam. That's an interesting guess, and not only an interesting guess, but it's actually the right answer. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you have some knowledge of that? Was that just a guess, Heidi?
I think I remember reading that recently.
Okay. Well, yeah, I probably would have guessed Norway without having read anything about it, because in Norway last year, more than 97% of the new cars were electric powered. So that plan in Hanoi is going into effect next July, and then will expand beyond downtown after that. And it will eventually include gasoline cars in the ban, as well as motorcycles. And they're going to expand it to Ho Chi Minh City and Da Nang. At least they're considering doing that in those cities. And here's, I don't know if you knew, maybe you knew this too, by the way, Vietnam is now making electric cars with a brand called VinFast, and they are building them for the U.S. market in North Carolina. So there's a whole lot of information about electric cars in Vietnam. Well, Heidi and Brian, thank you. A great job on the contest and on the bonus question as well. And Jesse is standing by to take your info if you'll just hang on.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray. Great listening to you.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Heidi and Brian. That's about going to wrap it up for our show this morning. Next week, we'll have an expert guest from the Cornell Lab of Ornithology talking about birds crashing into windows and some of the things that are being done to help prevent that from happening. And one other thing before we go, I want to remind folks about our Talking Birds flock. It's our Facebook place for Facebook group, I guess I should say, for Talking Birds listeners. And Stephen and let's say who else? We've got some, I forget who else is posting on there. But we have some wonderful new posts. Check it out on Facebook. It's Talking Birds Flock. Great stuff there. Wonderful pictures and videos. Thanks to our amazing Talking Birds team, Debbie Bleacher, Freya McGregor, and our producing engineer, Jesse Wilkins. I'm Ray Brown. See you next week.
The Bird Show. I like that. I love it.
Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
By Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com. and by Hog Island Audubon Camp. For full camp schedule, program details, and to register, visit hogisland.audubon.org.